All right, let's look at the market. This is a weekly chart. We'll look at the daily chart, look at the trade of the day. Stick around because I think you're really gonna benefit from what I got to show you on the daily chart. So, but first, let's look at the weekly chart right here. So today, or I should say for this week, the high has been 47.91.75. Let's call it 47.92. All right. You can see yesterday this was, I think, up around 91, and today it's backed off a little bit. Okay. Way up here. Way, like, pretty far up here, right? MACD sitting at 83. I won't cover everything I covered yesterday. That's a really good video yesterday if you want to go back and watch it. Talk about a lot of really good things. I'll talk about all these indicators, their levels, where I think things are headed. But just real quick right here, yeah, this is all elevated. The MACD could go higher because historically it has been higher. If you look back here, it's gone as high as like 175. It's gone way up there and gone nuts. But that was back when they were printing money, right? Federal Reserve was printing money like mad dogs. Everybody was getting free money. That's completely different than what the scenario we're in now. So it's not really apples to apples, right? You can't really say, well, the MACD was really high back here when they were printing all the money, so we just expect the same thing. They're doing the opposite now, right? They're putting the squeeze on. So I'm not really ready to say, well, there's a whole lot of room more to go for MACD because over here was 175 when they were loose money policy. Now there's tight money policy. Nothing's changed. We can expect it to go higher. That may not be true. That may not be true. Okay. So, like I said yesterday, the only thing keeping the market going is momentum. Every other piece of data I track, everything else that helps me make decisions about the market, everything is saying pull back. This thing is severely overcooked. Let's look down here at the Big Daddy forecast for the weekly. 446. Yeah, this is high. Really high, actually. Okay, the cycle lows are January 14th and March 31st. Now, the March 31st one probably carries, just based on the way that the blue little like light blue cycle and green cycle line up here. I think this could potentially be a pretty big cycle low back out here in March. Okay, late March, early April. So I'm just eyeballing these cycles because I haven't done that in a little while. Still, obviously back here things look really good, really good. You can see right here this green cycle is really not. Kind of starts falling apart here because the market gets very strong. But the blue cycles look pretty good. Just kind of eyeballing this. Pretty good within a week or two there. Really good here all the way back. Gets kind of loose back there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was good here, 6. And here we'll see what happens. This December 10th one for the green cycle didn't happen. Right? You could say maybe it happened early, but really it happened. That's really for this blue cycle. So right now, my confidence in these little blue cycles is much higher than the green cycles. Okay, so that's January 14th and the 31st. So right now, everything still looks good for these blue cycles. The green cycle, I'm gonna keep it on here a little bit longer, but if it doesn't come good, like if it doesn't have good lineup, we probably really wouldn't know that until way out over here. So kind of hard to tell because the next one's going to line up with this little blue one. Then it almost lines up with this one. It won't be till we get way over here that we know for sure whether the green cycle is bad, but we'll keep an eye on this green cycle and see how it goes. All right, so that's it for the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so here we are on the daily. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that something on this chart right now is really standing out, or surprise, or something you want to pay attention to. So let's talk about this universe indicator down here at the bottom. Usually I reserve this for members only. I showed it yesterday, I'll show it today, but I just have 2 years worth of data on here. And what do you know, look what happened today. Massive plasma flow. Okay, I mentioned on the Discord server to my members what I think this potentially means. And yes, I do think it will impact the market. And we'll see how this plays out. Yesterday, I noticed that the universe was beginning to curl up a little bit. And today, of course, we got blast off. Look at the last time. It hasn't been this high in the 2 years I've been tracking it. It hasn't been anywhere near this high. Okay. If you want to know more about that and what my comments are about this, you know, I talk about it sometimes on videos, but I don't always talk about what it means on a day-to-day. Okay, so if you want access to that, become a member. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how to become a member, okay? All right, let's set this back to 1 year instead of, right now I have it set at 5 years. It's a little bit too much, data, right? So let's zoom in a little bit here and get a little more intimate, as they say. So daily chart, big spiky universe, Big Daddy. Don't mind that, just a door slamming. Big Daddy is starting to curl over here. Let's see, it was let's see, back over here. I noticed it was really high. Yeah, almost 430 back here on, looks like December 11th. And we had another little kind of peak 2 days ago. 426. Yeah, wow. So two really big numbers on the daily chart for the Big Daddy. We'll talk about this indicator down here. I'm looking at this particular number, okay? So in this area, look how high this has gotten. Really, really high. The highest we've seen it easily in the last year, maybe for quite a while anyways. And you notice all those divergence dots, they're just piling up. Here they come again. And look, what do you know? Today, now today's not over. This candlestick that I'm looking at the very top up here is tomorrow's candlestick, Friday's candlestick, because remember, this is future, so it's already trading tonight. You can see it's actively trading up here. Asks and bids are going on. Got some volume clicking off. Okay, so a little candlestick right now, but this definitely got my attention. There's a divergence stock going on the SMI. We'll see if it's still there at the end of the day tomorrow, because this could appear, disappear, depending on what this candlestick does and the price action does. But historically already, we can see on the Big Daddy, there's been at least 2 previous days already in a row here with this divergence going on. And this Big Daddy forecast indicator is really very good in bullish on hot markets. That's why I turned it on the last few weeks, last month or two, whatever, because this thing's been going ballistic. And this indicator is really good when things are bullish. All right, so both these are, again, confirming watch out below. The bottom is about to drop out on the market. That's what these two indicators are saying. MACD, way up here at 82. So where did it finish today? Let's see. It finished at 77, and now we're at 82. For all practical purposes, 81.97. We'll call it 82. Okay, 81.99. This high as it's been, probably the second highest in the last year. I think there's one other time it was higher. I'm sorry, in the last 5 years? I think it's the last 5 years. Yeah, this is sitting right up there competing with the 2 other times in the last 5 years it's been this high on the daily. So everything here on the now a couple days ago I couldn't say this, but now I can say this. A couple days ago, you know, I couldn't say it because the momentum was still not quite there, but now I can confidently say that all this is telling us the market is severely overheated, meaning, you know, pullback would normally happen relatively soon. Soon could be anywhere from a day or two out to like 2 or 3 weeks, you know, because that's the market can be like that. All right. But I don't, you know, what's very interesting is I don't find it a coincidence that all this is cooking overheated and then all of a sudden we get this big flow of energy coming in. I'm telling you, man, the universe just does not play around. It just doesn't. It's like it's aware. I can't even begin to explain it. It's just, I wish I could explain what what I'm sensing internally is really hard to articulate into language. It just is. As I look at this data, sometimes it's mind-blowing. I mean, I just no way this is a coincidence, right? You got the market is extremely overheated. And the only thing I was waiting on is for the MACD to really just get to the point to where it's gotten crazy. And today it did. And now it's even crazier. And bam, we get this massive, massive plasma flow coming in. Okay, it's basically tracking solar energy and a little bit more than that, but it's not just solar, but there's a little bit more to it than that. But yeah, so we got all this going on at the same time. Everything. It isn't just the market, right? But energy flow coming into the Earth, galactically speaking. You know, as odd as that topic seems, so odd, right? Just like, I know people out there are probably just saying, that's crazy, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. What the heck is he talking about? Plasma flow, solar flares, universe. What's it got anything to do with anything? I'm telling you, it definitely does. It's not a coincidence. Okay, it just isn't. I've been looking at this for a long time, and it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. In October, I made some really good money, and my members made some good bank too. A lot of it came from the universe indicator. Okay, I was able to confidently say a lot of things in October because it was just absolutely spot on. Through November here and December, it's been a little more challenging because we're seeing some inversion that's a little bit more complicated to track. Okay, but it just keeps getting better. So daily chart, yeah. Now we're at a place where it's severely overcooked. I'm waiting for a little bit of confirmation to see if this candlestick is an evening star, because it may not be. All right, I'm going to take advantage of the market. If I'm taking advantage of when it does this, I'm taking advantage of when it does that. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. I'll take advantage either way. And right now, things are looking to start to be set up for a significant pullback. How much, I don't know yet, but I think it's coming. Okay, let's look at the trade of the day. I saw trade of the day already earlier today. I was in the office here doing my thing because, believe it or not, guys and gals, I'm still working a full-time job. You know, I have, you know, a business that I run off on the side. This is a side business that I run, and I like doing it because I like trading and I like sharing my experience and my many years, decades now of trading. And I turned it into a business, and that, you know, this video is part of that, right? And I have streaming charts that my members can see all day long, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week for the S&P 500, because I track the futures. So they basically trade 23 hours a day. So I just keep the charts up, you know, Monday through Friday. And they can see those streaming charts in the Discord server. So today, when I was sitting doing my work, my day job, I looked over during my break only, of course, and I saw something on that chart that got my attention. So let's take a look at that. Okay, sorry, it was the 5-minute chart. I saw on the 5-minute chart. Here we are on the 5-minute chart. This is one of the three streaming charts that go to the members: 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1 hour. So on the 5-minute chart, I noticed at about 11, I think it was 11:15. Let's see, what's this right here? Yeah, 11:15. So this indicator, GITTAS Plus indicator, is very powerful algorithm that I created. And basically, I'm going to keep this super simple. It just basically comes up when it believes that there's a possible trade, okay? I'm not saying it always gets it perfect, but it's often very good. And today, of course, it nailed it. It nails it like so many times. It's crazy how good it's been. And here at 11:15, we're looking at this middle triangle there, the yellow one. Sorry. 5-minute chart's moving on me. That yellow triangle. Okay, when that comes up, it sends an alert over to the members on the Discord server. So they see it here on the streaming chart, plus it gets sent as an alert. Okay, very handy. Well, this trade is I mean, there's been so many great trades, so many great trades and easy trades. And why do I say easy? Now, for those that are either already members who are thinking about becoming a member, I want you to pay attention. I'm about to tell you. This is the trade of the day. I always do this in every video. I talk about the trade of the day. It's rare there's not a trade of the day. Seriously, it's like I don't know what the percentage is, but it's got to be like 95% of the time or higher there's a trade of the day. And it's usually towards the end of the video. So I really want you to pay attention. about how I make this trade right here. This is an easy trade to make. So the alert, the Get Us Plus indicator gives us this indication. We're really looking for that little yellow triangle. It happens right here. Okay, let's hover over it. I've done this many times before, but we're going to look at it again real quick here. 11:15, so we know it's that red candlestick right up there. It's this one. Okay. Now you can see at that exact moment the SMI is elevated, right? Here's the SMI is this indicator right here. And where do you get that? Well, you get it on my streaming charts. I mean, this is called the Stochastic Momentum Index. I'm not, obviously you can get this indicator on most charting software, but if you want to know how to get it with the Get Us Plus indicator and the way I do my trading, well, it's part of the service, right? So the SMI is above this top line. See that? And it's really elevated up here, right? We wait and see this as it begins to basically just it begins to roll over. Okay, it rolls over. You can see the price action is just starting to chop sideways, right? Just starts chopping sideways. Okay, let's take a look. Where was the MACD? The MACD was still rising. So it was right here. All right. Now, how would I make this trade? I'd be looking very carefully at these 5-minute candlesticks. I've been watching them very carefully because I'm also going to pay attention to candlestick patterns. It's not just about blindly take a trade on a Get Us Plus and when the Get Us Plus indicator comes up. You got to kind of put the pieces together here, right? So it says, okay, there's a possible trade. I look at the SMI, I see it begins to roll over. It rolls over like right in this area, right? Let me clear the screen. Starts to roll over like right in here, right? We're just talking general here. So it starts rolling over kind of in this group of candlesticks, right up in here. There's about 15, 20-minute period starts to roll over. Okay, the MACD is still rising. All right, so what am I going to do right here? Because this is very elevated, I see that we've got chop in here, right? I'm going to put in probably a small position. Okay, in this particular case, I just take a small position. Or, this is, and there's a couple reasons why I would do that. One, the market is extremely hot right now. So you got to be really careful because it could catch you out and blast higher, right? So I would take a small position. For me, I would trade the futures here. I'd probably trade some micro contracts for this particular product. Okay. And I would just wait. And sure enough, you can see this starts to weaken. The MACD starts getting kind of pinchy, losing a little bit of momentum, right? Steam, I call it steam, momentum, whatever you want to call it. Okay, basically momentum starts to lose it. We get this big, for the 5-minute chart anyway, we get a big red candlestick. Oh, that's nice. That's a good sign. Right? Because it just chops sideways. You just hang in there. You don't do anything. Right? You don't panic, start closing your position. Just wait. You get this big red candlestick. That's great. That's what you want to see. This thing starts nosing over. The MACD starts to cross over right there about maybe about 30 minutes later, whatever it was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes later, about 40 minutes later, it really starts to nose over. The MACD starts to cross over, and you're in the money at that point, most likely. When I say in the money, you've already made profit on this one candlestick, but I mean, you're starting to make some bank now, right? You're really going to start, your profit is starting to really go up dramatically, right? Because now we've moved a good 6, 7, 8 points just on this one candlestick. You're going to pick up another 6 or 7, 8 points in this one, another 6, 7, right? Look at this. You've got, this is 10, okay, plus another about 8 in there maybe. So you're going to looking at 18, whatever this is, 20 points maybe until it starts to cool off. These 3 big candlesticks give you about almost 20 points of trading. Now, really, you don't want to get out because at this point, there's a couple ways you could do this. You could just take these 3 candlesticks with a profit, and that's it. Call it a day. A lot of money right there. Great trade. No problem. For beginners, I think that's a fine way to go. You get these 3 big candlesticks. It starts to chop. Just get out of the trade. Just keep it simple. If you're a kind of a jittery trader and you're a little nervous, you don't want to give back a nickel, right? You don't really want to let the market fluctuate a little bit to see if you're going to get more. You have a problem taking. Some people have a problem with they make all this profit and they give a little back and then they get really emotional and get upset. If that's you, and that's usually beginner traders, then don't sweat it. Don't put yourself through the what I call the emotional roller coaster. Just take the profit right here. It starts to chop. Get out. You're done. You're done for the day. Made good money. Made great money. For the more mature trader, they're going to know that if you draw all the way down here, the MACD is big and fat and wide, and it's probably got a long way to go, right? It's probably got a ways to go. And sure enough, it continued. It kind of chopped here for about 4 candlesticks, then it continued down. It's a little bit more mature trader who's going to hang in there and weather out the chop. Okay, not everybody can do that. So don't sweat it if that's you and you're a mature trader and you can hang in there. And because you remember some of these candlesticks are going to be kind of going up and down, right? These are small candlesticks, but still they're going to be going up and down during that 5 minutes. And for some people, it's very emotional. I mean, I remember being like that when I was younger. Very emotional. Oh my gosh, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 30 bucks. You're up, you're down. A lot of people emotionally just can't handle it. If that's you, just get out of the trade. When you see this chop, you're done for the day. If you're a mature trader, you've seen it, been there, done that, no problem. You see the MACD's telling you stay in the trade, and boom, you just keep on going. All right. Beautiful trade of the day. Super simple. I've seen a lot of these lately. A lot of these very simple trades where things begin to roll over. The MACD responds a little bit later. The Get Us Plus indicators giving you everything you need to make a great trade. Okay, just super stuff. Okay, this one back here would have been a little bit harder. Now this trade is so in the middle of the road. You see this, how the SMI is in the middle when this alert comes up? See that? If you just draw it straight down, you see how the SMI is kind of stuck between these two lines? I'm just not going to touch that trade. There's still a little bit of money to be made there, because if you're patient, you would have made a little bit of money there if you knew to short it. But it's just not worth the hassle, right? Don't sweat it. You want to wait for things to be peaky or way near the bottom. Okay, like this one gave you an alert here. You have to be a little patient on this one. You have to really be patient, wait for it to start to curl up. You want that separation between the lines. See how it began to separate right here? Then you can take the trade, make money on this trade too. On this one, you got to wait it out. It's telling you there's a possible trade, but if you jumped in right away, think it's going to go long, oh my gosh, you got to wait through all that? No, you don't want to do that. That's why you want to wait for some separation in the indicator on the SMI. Once you start seeing some separation, then you can start nibbling on, taking a small position. And if you want to, you can add to your position as it begins to gain some steam. You could have done the same thing this way too. Start small, start adding into the position, and then get out and take your profit. Okay, both of these trades are fine. This one required a little more patience. Let me clear the screen one more time here before we finish up the video. This one required a little more patience because you had to wait way over here for it to curl up and get that separation. Whereas this one, it was almost immediate. Like if I saw this in the very next 2 candlesticks, how this dipped, and even though I didn't really get good separation, I can see the peak already happened. I'm probably just going to get in a small position and wait here. I'm just going to wait. Or you could wait for this kind of like nosedive, which would put you like right in this candlestick. Okay, you might miss some of this profit up here, and that's fine too. You catch most of these other two, right? You catch like 2.5 candlesticks. So that's how I do those trades. I know it's a little bit lengthy section here, but I want everybody to understand that's how I use the service. This is why I made it into a business. This is what I do. That's how I make bank when I'm trading, because I don't always get a chance to trade, but when I trade, this is what I do, right? I don't mess around with this garbage in the middle. It isn't like the Get Us Plus indicators got like, oh my gosh, I could never be wrong. No, you got to take a little time, analyze. Like I'm not messing around with something sitting in the middle. That's just garbage. I don't touch it. This, oh yeah, sweet. This, pretty sweet. Okay. All right. I said earlier, if you want to become a member, to stick around to the end of the video. So if you're already here at the end of the video, it means you want to know about the membership. That's great. In the description below the video on YouTube, there's some instructions. Make sure you read those instructions very carefully. It's going to help you sign up without having any problems, okay? Follow the instructions. Once you do, click on the link. It's going to take you to my server here, Get a Server. This is where all the membership services take place, okay? Click on that, brings you to this server. Click on Server Shop. It's going to bring you to this page right here. $7.99 a month, okay? Look, I know money's tight. Okay, I know money's tight out there for a lot of people, all right? And it's one of the reasons why I keep the price super cheap, $7.99, okay? I have members right now, and I talk about this all the time. They probably make $100 to $300 a day, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Right? They don't think about the $7.99 because it's just coin, right? The membership is paying for itself easily with their trades. Now, as I always say this, I'm going to say it now. I can't promise it. You're going to do that. It has to do with your maturity level, how patient you are, how big your account is. But I honestly believe, if you spend some time, come in, I'd probably pay for 2 or 3 months. Okay. Don't trade in the beginning. Just don't do any trading. Resist the temptation to trade. Watch the streaming charts. The hourly chart has cycles on there that I put on there for the members. Of course, there's the GITIS Plus indicator that's on all the streaming charts, just like I showed in the trade of the day. Okay. So I would take time to understand those. How do they work? How can they benefit you? Go back and watch the video just like I showed about how I make those trades using the GITIS Plus indicator with the SMI and the MACD. Okay, you need to be really aware. A lot of traders are not so good about being aware across multiple time frames. That's why I always talk about the weekly, the daily, the hourly, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. All 5 of those charts, I'm aware of them at any given time. If that seems like a lot to you, then that's why I'm saying, when you come in to be a member, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Because you need to get used to looking at multiple time frames. That's going to help you become a really good trader. Okay, you don't want a lot of people, I only trade the 1-minute chart. I only trade the 5-minute chart. Because they think, a lot of people, they try to oversimplify. 3, 4, 5 charts is too much for them. They just can't handle it. I can't do that. No, just relax. Take a couple deep breaths, man. Okay. Learn to use multiple time frames. You're going to become a much better trader. Just don't be in a hurry. So that's why I say, join for 2 or 3 months. Okay. Invest in yourself a little bit here. It's small money. We're talking, $25 for 3 months approximately. Look at the charts, understand the GITIS Plus indicator, understand the hourly cycle, just cycle analysis in general. All right. Watch the videos every day. Get a feel for how to use the service to your benefit. Okay. That's my opinion. I think if you do that, you got a good chance of making some good money. If you're a new trader, you really need to be patient. Everybody wants to come in and hit the jackpot. That's just a bad way to go. That's rare that people become millionaires overnight. I'm not saying it's a bad dream or a bad goal, okay? But that's just hurts a lot of people. You don't want to think like that. You want to make consistent profits. Consistently extract profits out of the market. And that requires some patience and learning, okay? All right, so let's just talk real quick. I'll go over what do you get with the service. Well, you get the streaming charts I've been talking about, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour with the GITIS Plus indicator and the other indicators that I showed on there, during the trade of the day. All right, whenever there's the GITIS Plus indicator shows a possible trade on the streaming charts, it sends an alert over to this channel, the S&P 500 alerts channel. So most of the members are just right-clicking on this channel and then setting notifications, and they turn them on. Okay, and then the Discord app will notify you. So if you have your volume on your desktop PC or your laptop, if it's on your phone, you could have it on vibrate, whatever, you'll get notified that something's going on. You can take a look at the streaming charts. You can decide whether or not you want to make a trade. Even for beginners, if that just means a paper trade, and see how your trade worked out. But I just want to caution one thing about paper trades. Everybody is a millionaire as a paper trade. Because you know why? Because they know it's not real money. So they take crazy risks. They're like, oh, let it fly. Let it run. No problem. I don't care that my margin now is, $180,000 in the hole, right? Because it's not real money. So even though your margin debt's crazy, and if your broker didn't give you a margin call, because it's paper money, so they're not going to do that, right? So paper money, don't over rely on paper money trades. It's okay to kind of do it and get a feel, but you got to be realistic. Okay, paper money you're not going to have the emotions of real money. Paper money can be like no problem. When real money's on the table for new traders, they're super nervous. Palms are sweaty. They're in and out of trades. They're doing crazy stuff. I know because I used to do it all. I used to trade I used to make the worst decisions in trading. All right, but anyway, in this case, this is the GITIS Plus indicator with the S&P 500 alerts and notifications is going to help guide, like you saw in the trade of the day, should help guide you in making trades. Okay. All right, and then there's also gold alerts, crude oil, and top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, respectively, in these. Okay. Now these don't have streaming charts. That's only for the S&P 500, but they do. You still get alerts in here. Okay. The daily only alerts would be any symbols that I'm tracking. Okay. Then on the daily chart, there was a Get Us Plus alert. Okay, then it would go into there. Okay, premium symbols. This is worth checking out. Future symbols I put in there every day. Optionable stocks. Some industries are in there. And symbols that could look like they might be getting ready to be shorted. Okay, so there can be anything from 2 to 4 files in there with full of symbols. It's worth looking at those. Sometimes I look at them to trade I trade a lot of futures. Okay, currency. Again, everything in this big rectangle is members only. Streaming charts and all this. For currency, if I'm making any trades like British pound, euro dollar, Aussie dollar, I'll put it in there. I don't trade it a lot, but occasionally I trade it, so that's what this channel is. Okay, nightly email. I always send out nightly emails every night, Monday through Thursday. The email includes an attachment of the S&P 500 chart, and it's mocked up with my cycles on there and other things that I put on the chart that are helpful that I use personally. And I'm sure a lot of my members look at it and use it in their own trading. Okay, and in addition to the chart being attached to the email, I also put a few sentences about my opinion about what I think the market's going to be doing. Okay, solar activity. Well, we saw the universe indicator, so that I do keep track of solar activity and some other things that I don't really talk about publicly, and I'm not going to talk about it publicly, not even to members. But there's some other things going on there that's not just what the sun's doing that goes into that universe indicator. A little bit of the special sauce that some of it's just private stuff that the members benefit from it, but they don't necessarily need to know what's behind the curtain. Okay, all right. Fixed income. I do trade corporate bonds. I buy fixed income corporate bonds sometimes. Also, since we have a lot of inflation going on right now, you'll see in here I have not too long ago I put in here a savings account, a bank that has a really good rate for savings. I'm getting over 5% on one of my savings accounts. So that's what's in there. Plus, I think I put in there some CD rates that are pretty good, because CD rates changing all the time. But yeah, so that's what that channel's about. And then these two channels are just basically some chat going on with the members for the S&P 500. And if you have support issues, if it's email, then put it in the email. If you want email, drop your email address in here, and you'll get the nightly email. Okay. And if there's issue about your email, drop it in there, because Discord's been making everybody change their Discord handle. And it's, I don't know why they did it, but it's been creating problems. But just if you have something specific to not getting your emails, or you want to get emails, then that's where you do that in there. For all their support, do it here in member chat. Okay. And then the last channel up here at the top, this is open to the public, but there's nothing in there. You're not going to get any services in there. It's just kind of like a hello, hi, I'm here channel. All right, that's all that is. All right. That's everything included with the service. There might be some other stuff I forgot, but that's pretty much all of it. I do want to say, please read the rules, even for existing members and new members alike. In there, you're going to find Be Nice to Everybody Else rules, the refund rules, and the disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. I just give my opinion. That's all in there. So please read the rules, okay? So nobody can tell me I didn't tell you to read the rules. All right. I think that's everything. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. I got a feeling this market's going to start paying big in the opposite direction soon. We'll see how it goes. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.